SVP is mixing things up, and digital TV, it'll never be the same. SVP TV, we're family. We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why? We're gonna make you fall in love with SVP TV.
Well, see, when you look at somebody like me, I grew up here. There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis that I don't already know.
There's nothing you can tell me about Memphis.
From the boardroom to the streets.
I don't already know.
With Mike from Memphis, man. Together, we can fix things. Really?
When you say, I want to be treated fairly, and I want a voice.
Yeah. He saw things weren't fair, so he chose to run for mayor. You get up and do something when you really care. It's Memphis 360.
I'm with you.
In the meantime,
It's Memphis 360.
In the meantime, in between time, we got folks shooting people up out the frame. Anybody said a word. We've become accustomed to people dying in this city.
Yeah. It's Memphis 360.
Turning the TV on and the news and see our loved ones and see young people that are out of control. And now you see, okay. We talk about incarceration. We talk about the youth. We talk about giving them the ability. We talk about investing in young people and investing in the community. See, I hate ignorance. I hate when people make decisions about things and they make statements and they haven't done their research.
How can you fix the problem when you don't even know what the problem is?
We need some help in this city.
It's Memphis 360.
See, I hate ignorance.
It's Memphis 360. Man.
And good evening. We'd like to welcome you to Memphis 360, the television show. We said we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. And that's exactly what we like to do. You know, a lot of things we say on this TV show is not very popular. A lot of people don't like it. But we like to be straightforward and we like to tell the truth. What's up? Robert Jameson out there in California. What's up, Jenny Lynn? These are my friends that are live wanting to know what's going on here in the city of Memphis. We have people that look in from all over the country. And the first thing I want to do is say thank you for actually just taking the time to tune in to Memphis 360. You know, it's a little television show, but we reach a lot of people, and we say a lot of things that people really want to say just from me talking to individuals out there in the streets. And that's why we said we like to go from the boardroom to the streets. Earlier today, in my capacity as the Chief Administrative Officer for General Sessions, quite naturally, I was in the county building, you know, dealing with CAOs and directors and all of those people. I just left Clerk Brown. I guess he went out to the library, the new library that they're going to be building in Frazier. He was out there today. They did the deal with the shovels, what they call that, turning soil or groundbreaking. He went out there to that today because he was one of the ones that was instrumental in getting the funding for that library in Frazier when he was on the city council, and now he is the city. Conversations about his concern about his staff members, concern about the citizens of Shelby County, the citizens of the city of Memphis. He's still very active and still very thinking when it comes to individuals being treated fairly and individuals that are being treated right. Can we get Mr. Tark Sugarman in to talk? I have a lot of questions. I will definitely ask him, Jenny Lynn. Jenny Lynn is asking me on Facebook to see if I can get Judge Tarek Sugarman here. He is the juvenile court judge. But anyway, so, you know, even though I deal with individuals in that realm and on that level, I definitely want to make sure that we don't leave out the individuals on the bottom. Oftentimes, their needs, want, wishes, and desires, often the things that concern them go unnoticed, unrecognized. Individuals, those are the people that count, the taxpayers, the individuals that actually pay the taxes in this city. We have had 5 young people that have been killed in this city this week alone, and that was up until yesterday. And I heard that there were possibly a couple of other shootings that occurred over last night. I'm not really sure, so I'm not going to go into that. But we've had 5 young people that have been killed in the last week in this city. This city is in crises when it comes to our young people. And a lot of people don't want to hear about this. You know, when Ezekiel Kelly went through the city of Memphis on a shooting spree a couple of weeks ago, it was the big news. It was the big thing. Everybody wanted to talk about it. You know, how violent crime is so prevalent in this city. And everybody was up in arms because everybody was afraid that they may be the next one to run into this young man. But now nobody's saying anything. Nobody's talking about it. But guess what? We are still losing young people in this city at an alarming rate. When we talk about, I can sit here and say 5 young stole a car out there in Fraser. We have a serious problem in this city when it comes to crime. I ran by Clerk Brown yesterday. He was in the office yesterday as well. And I was busy over in 201 Poplar, and I had told Kenny Lee and the individuals that belong to Ride of Tears that I would come and join them in front of City Hall because they wanted to bring attention to what was going on in the city of Memphis, about the youth that are being killed. So as I'm coming out of 201 Poplar, Mr. Clerk Brown is coming out of 140 Adams, and I'm running, and he's like, Michael, and I'm like, sir, I can't talk right now. I run past him over to the square in front of City Hall because they got what they call the baby hearse up there, the Ride of Tears. They got the baby hearse up there. They had Stop the Violence van up there. They had, you know, young individuals up there who, you know, people are just tired of all of this killing that's occurring here in this city. You have people that are afraid. You have people that are afraid for their children. You know, and it's so funny. I was having a conversation with my wife today, you know, because, you know, my wife is so insightful. You know, sometimes, you know how we are about our wives, man. God, Jesus, we don't want to listen to them sometimes. But the lady be on point because I have to vent to her a lot of times about my frustrations. I have to vent to her about all of the things that are occurring in this city. And she is my rock. But as I'm telling her about what's going on, you know, she always breaks it down a little bit for me. Because she said, you know what, Michael? She said, a lot of times these people are so fake. They act as if they want to address the issues and the problems in this city, but they don't. It's all about the economics in this city. Blight is money. Huh? We want to tell young boys to pull their pants up, but you don't know what they've went through because a lot of us, we're at a point or stage in our lives to where as we're comfortable, we think we've made it, and especially those that control the purse strings. When you talk about the county commissioners, and I'm not bad-mouthing anybody right now, but I'm telling you how a lot of times we become so detached from what's going on. We're sitting here saying, pull your pants up. But you may have a young boy who is growing up in a household, and that household is so disruptive that it's pitiful. You may have his mother, and I'm not talking about all moms, but all of us know and we see a lot of our relatives, a lot of individuals that we know, these young girls out here chasing the D. So they're not really concentrating on the kids. But see, a lot of these young girls that's out here chasing the D, they grew up in a household that was disrupted because in the 80s and 90s, you had the crack epidemic. So a lot of them grew up in households that were not stable. Not all, some. So they don't know how to be parents. They're looking for love in all the wrong. But see, there are no boundaries. There were 2 young people that were shot in a car. Everybody assumed it was in the city of Memphis. It was in Arlington. Because you just automatically gravitate toward all the crime happening in Memphis. But I say all of that to say it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So this is the deal. Until we truly address the issues of poverty in this city, address the issues of illiteracy in this city, address the issues of engaging our youth in this city, and I ain't talking about playing. I'm so sick of goddamn meetings. Everybody want to meet, but there is no action. We've been meeting for 3-4 years. The homicide rate has exceeded itself for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's steadily going up, and we're steadily setting records. So that means individuals are dying in this city. But we want to have meetings. Just like Ride of Tears had that prayer vigil in front of City Hall, you may have had 40 people out there in a city of 670,000 people just in this city. But let me say I'm going to throw a party. Let me say we're going to have Douce. Let me say we're going to have an all-white. Let me say I'm finna give away some barbecue. Everybody and their brother would be there. But let me say we're going to have an event that we're going to come together, because until we all come together on one accord, this is not going to be fixed. Because see, this is what's happening. You got these individuals that are possibly considered to be privileged, that are trying to fix the problems of what's happening where people have nothing. You don't even understand their plight. You ain't been through what they've been through. You ain't missed a meal. You ain't had to sleep in your clothes because you didn't want to be raped that night. You didn't have to go to bed hungry. You don't hear gunfire all night like you living in a combat zone. How you gonna fix this when you don't even understand what the issues are? You can't. You don't even know how to address it. You know, then you want to give a little money to a couple of little organizations so that they can paint the little vans and run around the community, and you can say you've done something. No. But in the meantime, you want to give $85 million to a developer to develop a hotel. And then the developer say, no, I need another $5 million. And you say, oh, I can't give them the $5 million, but the only reason you say it is because people are starting to talk about it. And then you say, I want to spend $860-something million on a sports complex. And then the sports complex is really being designed for pro soccer, for University of Memphis, for the stadium. You want to build a soccer field. And you have that indoor baseball complex that you're building for competitive. Oh, see, people missing this part. For competitive softball, because you want to pull the business from down in Hernando and South Haven and down there. But how did that address the issue of the young people in the city? Of the taxpayers in this city. You're using it for development. And then the killing part for me, you have these individuals that represent the citizens of this city that you have given fiduciary responsibility of your tax dollars, and they're the ones who are approving your tax dollars going into all of these different places. You're not serious about this crime. You're not serious about our babies. You're not serious about them not being killed in this city. You know, and I always talk about there has to be a multi-pronged approach. Yeah, we have to address the issue of the youth, and we have to address the issue of these parents. We keep saying, well, the parents are not parents. Well, they can't be parents if they don't know how to be parents. We have to teach them how to be parents. We have to invest in them how to be parents. I was telling somebody, I think in the same conversation with my wife, I grew up here in Memphis in the 60s. And no disrespect to anybody, no family or nothing like that, but Wyatt Chandler was the mayor. I grew up when Henry Loeb was the mayor. And you had racial issues in the city at that particular time. And you had the sanitation strike, and you had Martin Luther King coming here. So that's how I know you had racial issues. But then even Martin Luther King said it was truly about economic empowerment. Until we became economically empowered, you're going to continue to be a subculture. But I say that to say this. Even when you had Henry Loeb and Wyatt Chandler in office, there were programs in place designed to help young people. There were programs in the parks. There were pools all over the place. You had Malone Pool, Washington Pool, you had Bigfoot Pool, you had Carnes Pool. You had pools everywhere so children could be engaged in the summertime. The community centers were fully staffed. They had arts and crafts in the community centers. The roofs weren't leaking. You didn't have mold all over the walls. So they have not invested in our kids. And I'm telling you this from my class. And we thought we lived in a disenfranchised community. They were going to Morehouse, Spelman, Xavier, Harvard, Annapolis, West Point, Wake Forest, Marquette, and quite naturally, Tennessee State, Mississippi State. And everybody was vying to see who would be the best and who could get to the best college. That was the competition. But now kids now don't even have the ability to think that they can go to college, a lot of them. And then college is not for everybody. They had crafts in the school, trades. You could be a mechanic. You could work with woodcraft. You could be a brick mason. Because believe it or not, a lot of those professions make more money than a lot of the individuals that go do a 9-to-5 every day because they have a trade. And especially if they had that trade now, because a lot of those trades are in high demand. And a lot of those trades set their own prices if they do quality work. Preacher, you got to get out them walls, preacher. You got to get back out in them streets, preacher. The community used to evolve around the church. The spiritual leaders in the community, Dr. Martin Luther King, preacher, Ralph Abernathy, preacher, Jesse Jackson, preacher. Hello, somebody. And I can go on and on and on. All of them were preachers, the articulate, the supposedly educated, the leaders in the community, well-respected and renowned individuals. But because of Bush and laws that were put in place, and I'm not even knocking Bush, I'm just saying the laws, that a lot of church, you had to separate church and state. And if you're receiving federal funds, then you can't be politically active. And if you notice, when you went to vote this time, it even had on there about preachers being able to be to run for office and be political. And also, if you noticed on the ballot, they talked about slavery too. They still have in the Constitution in the state of Tennessee about slaves. Here it is, 2022, and we trying to get it out of the Tennessee Constitution about slavery? You people are not serious, because here in the city of Memphis, where you have a predominantly African-American population, if then you would be policing and taking care of your own communities. Ain't nobody gonna come in here and save you. You know, people keep asking me, oh, Mike, man, you share a lot of good stuff, man. You gonna run for mayor? Nope. Not at all. Not at all. But we do need an innovative, creative individual who has the ability to listen to the citizens, to come up with a multi-pronged approach of addressing the crime, the economic inequities in this city, putting plans in place. And it's not going to happen overnight, but putting plans in place to address the issues that we have. And I'm going to get off my soapbox. Hey, thank you guys. We've become way too disconnected as a people. I know that's right, Aisha. You right, all the preachers. Sheila Zola Coffer. That's my cousin. I can't pronounce her name. Because she married some dude with some weird name. Bob Midget. Good evening, Mr. Williams. Good points. Thank you so much, Bishop Bob. But anyway, hey, you are tuned in to SVP TV Network. You can download the app, SVP TV app. You can catch us on Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV. You can catch us on Comcast Channel 17. You can catch us on, it's one more platform, Comcast Channel 17. And you can also catch us on YouTube, all right? So I got a really good show for you. Those things I talked about, they're near and dear to my heart. And I'm going to always talk about the crime. I'm going to always talk about the inequities that are here in the city of Memphis, as long as I got breath in my body. You know, somebody told me today, a lot of the politicians are so corrupt in this city, Mike, and da-da-da-da-da, and I don't even know if I can trust you. I said, man, let me tell you something. You don't have to trust me. That's your business. But see, I got 4 daughters. I'm their hero. My integrity is everything to me. I can't speak for no other politician, but don't ask me no damn question if you don't want the truth. Because I'm not going to sit here and play with you and placate and act like somebody that I ain't. I'm from North Memphis, near Scudderfield. I just got a little polish on me and a little age and hopefully a little wisdom, but don't ever get it twisted. So don't come at me with no bull crap. Oh, 21 years in the Army, 21 years in the Army, 21 years on the police department. Don't get it twisted, all right? We had a pop-up shop here this weekend, man. Woo! Y'all know I sell Enhance Your Romance. Finally popped out, and if you guys don't know what it is, you can go to my Facebook page. It is a coffee that enhances your romance. I ain't saying you're broke out there, dude, but Tojo Yamamoto, y'all don't even know who the hell I'm talking about, but that's where wrestling really got its roots and started. You know, y'all know Jerry Lawler and Billy Superstar Dundee and all of them, and that's cool too, because I used to watch them. I used to go to Coliseum and watch the King, Jerry Lawler. Oh yeah, but guess what? We got some other individuals that are trying to revive, because that used to be a big thing here in the Memphis, and they're trying to revive that, and they're working really hard. And we need to support these young people that are entrepreneurs that are trying to bring activities back into this city. And wrestling was one of them, man. I used to love to go to the wrestling matches, okay? So we have Mr. Johnny Dotson, who is the owner, producer of Bluff City Wrestling. And we're going to bring him on, and we're going to talk a little bit about, man, where you come from, and what made you want to wrestle and all this kind of stuff, and see what he is all about. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Can you actually imagine hosting your next event at the all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center? Yes, spacious, beautiful venue with plenty of parking, located in the heart of East Memphis. Let us host your next intimate birthday gathering, family repast, bachelorette party, wedding and reception, baby shower, corporate meeting, social club event. Call us today. Don't wait. 901-244-6874. The all-new SVP Banquet and Event Center.
Ladies, do you feel feminine during your feminine flow? You know, your monthly cycle, your period? Are you still suffering in silence? The suffering is over. It's time to choose Rain. Rain is an all-natural, premium sanitary napkin with 8 layers of cotton, high-grade polymers, graphene,